good evening, and welcome to a special episode of the Campus podcast. It is I, Clayton, with my co-host, Meg.
Okay, hello.
Come on, I really just want
I
to do
look,
Dracula accent.
I was literally on the fence. I was like, what do I say anything right now? What do I do? I don't know what to do. I was literally partway through drinking, and I was just like, what do I do in this situation right now?
What do you do when someone approaches you with a Dracula accent? Well, today, due to it being extremely hot, humid, and uncomfortable just about everywhere we are right now, I thought today would be a great day to have the first ever summer ween. And no, that is not for summer wiener. So a hot dog does sound great.
Summer wieners.
I figured today, hot dog, we have a wiener. I thought we would talk about spooky things. Ghost movies, all this stuff, just something to get a chill in the air to kind of cool us down, because oh my god, it is so hot in my room right now.
About to say it's July. There's a heat wave coming here on Friday. You're obviously in a heat wave right now. What's the most important thing to do in this situation? We discuss Halloween topics in July.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we need to do. So I figured, well, let's have a nice chill conversation about spooky stuff. Like, I don't know. It's that, or we start next time. It'll be ranking the Rankin Bass Christmas movies, which I think is a great idea. Tune in 4 weeks' time.
I say we do that in. I say we do that in October. We'll just do each season, but like the actual like season that we're in, we'll do the one that comes after that season. So at Halloween we'll talk about Christmas. At Christmas we talk about Easter. At Easter.
Oh, you know what? We're perpetually just that slowpoke meme, like, hey guys, 2020 is gonna be a great year. And it's just like, oh, slowpoke, it's 5 years later. It's terrible now.
The world's even worse now.
Yeah. It turns out the Star Wars new trilogy wasn't that good. I'm sorry, buddy. I know you were excited. But, yeah, so, welcome to the first ever Campus Summer Ween. I have no idea if this will be a tradition, but it's the first one, so it counts for something.
It does count for something.
Exactly. Oh my god, it is actually extremely warm. I don't know. I actually think we're not in a heat wave in Canada, or at least in my part of Canada right now. A portion of the country's on fire, but that's like not near me, so.
Damn.
Fun. Yeah, it's only 29 degrees. A heat wave in Canada constitutes 33 degrees and higher. So, we're not in a heat wave. It's just uncomfortable.
Are you doing degrees or Fahrenheit? Because I always get confused.
We do Celsius.
Okay, that's all right. You're sane. Sorry to everybody who uses Fahrenheit, listeners. I apologize, but we are the sane ones here.
At some point in my life, I learned the conversion to Fahrenheit just so I could communicate with some people who used Fahrenheit, and it's like, it's take the temperature in Celsius, multiply it by 9/5, and then add 32, because 32 is 0 degrees. I cannot do that off the top of my head, obviously, but I do think we're at like maybe 92 degrees Fahrenheit for all of the American listeners out there.
The thing for me though is
it's warm. It's not.
The thing for me about that is though, like when you sit and think like it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit, it's just like my, obviously because I'm not used to it, my brain's just like, it can't be 98 degrees. You'd be dead. Like it just doesn't. For my brain, it just doesn't make sense. It's the same as kilometers instead of miles per hour doesn't make sense either. But that's a topic for another day.
Hey, you know what? We could all just be really weird and we could just convert everything to Kelvin. Kelvin is my favorite temperature because 0 degrees in Kelvin is space, where there's like no, like the absence of all heat is 0. And there's no negative numbers. Like once you hit like no heat at all, that's 0. So let's see. In Celsius, if we are 29 degrees Celsius, it is load. Damn you, load. It is 302 degrees Kelvin right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that makes it sound so much more dramatic. Yeah, absolutely. Also, one thing about Fahrenheit that drives me insane: how come 32 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing cold? Like that's 0 degrees in Celsius. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's weird, right?
I,
It just feels weird.
it,
I'm gonna take those noises to mean that I am correct and that everyone agrees with me, and that's weird. When someone just goes,
my brain's just confused with Fahrenheit and degrees still right now, to be honest.
and then Kelvin. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, why do we have so many ways of measuring heat? Like, it's
I don't know, because everyone likes to have their own opinion and say that they thought up of something first, and then no one wants to change anything, and then we get confused.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's just general, isn't it?
All right. Well, back to
Yeah. Now that we're off topic completely.
yeah. It only took us a minute and 12 seconds to do that. Congratulations, that is a new campus record. We were off topic immediately. The Dracula accent did it, honestly.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
It was too much. It was too much, wasn't it? In the comments, please tell me if it was, in fact, too much. So yeah, for Summerween, I wanted to talk about just the general spooky stuff, our favorites, our least favorites. But I wanted to start out with, what was your first horror media experience? And like that doesn't mean that it has to be specifically like, oh, the first horror movie I watched was like Friday the 13th. Like, what was the first like spooky thing you think you watched? You're like, oh, that's spooky. Or Red.
I mean, I suppose not that I specifically remember this, probably because of how old I was, but I'm pretty sure that when I was like, I don't know, maybe I was 4 or 5, my dad was scrolling through telly apparently, and I was just like playing with my toys in the lounge, and Silence of the Lambs came on.
Oh, that's a neat one.
So,
that's a neat one to be.
Yeah.
What's your first exposure? Oh, the cannibal Hannibal Lecter.
And I can't remember which scene it was specifically, but my mum says basically one of the horrible ones. I can't remember if it was. I think it might have been something to do with.
Oh, like Red Dragon?
No, it's definitely Silence of the Lambs, but I think it was one of those scenes where my mum says I literally had to cover your eyes when it came onto the screen, and I kept trying to like pull my mum's hands away from her. I go, Mummy, what's happening? Nothing, sweetheart.
Nothing. It's just a hug with a knife. Don't worry about it, baby.
It's the one about, I think it's the Tooth Fairy, is it? That guy? Who used to make like a dress out of women's skin. So I'm pretty sure that's what happens in the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, Buffalo Bill.
So,
I believe the character's name.
I'm assuming it was something involving that. Actually, I can't remember. Does the scene where Hannibal feeding the guy his own brains, who was the I can't remember the names now, and I should, because I've seen the Hannibal TV series and I know he's in that. The warden of the psychiatric ward that he ends up on, I'm sure my dad says, I could be completely wrong, and I apologize to everybody who has watched Silence of the Lambs and screaming right now, going, no, she's all wrong, she's so wrong, she's at the other end of the ether wrong. But I'm sure he ends up feeding a piece of the guy's brain to himself.
Does that mean you lose the brain, or do you keep it?
Well, I mean, he was still alive.
Yeah. Like, oh, good.
He was like...
Wait, how do you have a piece of his brain?
He was consciously eating his own brain. He'd like taken a piece of his brain out, cooked it, and was making him eat it. I don't know the specifics, I just know that happens.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
But yeah, like...
I mean, that is kind of like how Hannibal works.
I mean, to be honest, the whole sort of like idea around that kind of like series is like pretty batshit crazy. But the TV series is fantastic. Me and my dad binge watched the Hannibal TV series, and it's so good. I watched
most of the Hannibal TV series. I liked it a lot too.
So good. So yeah, I'd probably say that is my earliest. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it was Disney's The Black Cauldron. At least the earliest one I can remember. If no one's aware, the Black Cauldron is like, I think, a 1980s ish Disney movie that came out. Big really fantasy. It's based on like the books of like the Chronicles of Prydain, I think. But it basically features like a ragtag group of like adventurers, one with a magic sword, one with magic, and then what's his name? It's like Fluter. I cannot remember his freaking name for the life of me, but it's like Fluter Flanded Flute or something. It's terrible. I'm going to look it up.
Must start
It's an
typing.
It must immediately. It is just it's a great movie, but the main thing that like kind of exposed me to like spooky and horror is the antagonist is the Horned King.
Yes.
And he is a like skeletal freaky looking guy, and the whole plot is like, oh, he wants to get the Black Cauldron because that's this movie's magical MacGuffin. And if you give like a human sacrifice to the Black Cauldron, it will give you untold wicked power, and be able to resurrect like an army of the damned kind of deal. Army, but like, so there was the scene where like the skeleton army like comes to life, and it's horrifying. They're just skeletons, but like there's this green mist. They're horrifying. They just shamble. It's really cool. Oh, fun fact: they're called the Cauldronborn, which is a good name, honestly.
It's a badass name.
It really is. Like when you can make like a good fantasy like name for something, it's great. Cauldronborn is good. I'm stealing that for a D&D campaign at some point.
And then when it comes up in a campaign, if it comes up in a campaign, I might be like, oh, I know what they are.
I know what they are. Some guy used an evil cauldron to make them. Hell yeah. But there's actually a deleted scene from that movie I saw probably about a year ago. And it's not a full scene, it's basically just some stills because obviously it was axed before it was fully animated. But I guess the cauldron also like just tears the flesh off of a bunch of guys that are too close. And it's like graphic for a children's movie. Like a guy just basically gets turned into a skeleton, and like Raiders of the Lost Ark style, his skin just kind of sloughs away along with everything else, and he just becomes another skeleton. And I don't know. I love the Black Cauldron. It is a shame that it was like not good.
It was mostly to do with marketing, though, wasn't it? The ones that seemed
it had development hell.
I feel like
it's one of those things where it's like, oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. We're just interrupting each other, aren't we, today? I was just saying, like, I feel like just briefly before you carry on, I feel like most of the ones that didn't do very well had a lot of marketing issues as well as obviously development stuff. But I think the ones that didn't have too much in the way of development problems just didn't get the marketing right.
Yeah, pretty much. I know it also had like a bunch of it kind of ended up like a little bit of a development hell. So it had a bunch of like rewrites, like these cut scenes. Like someone saw it, was like, "Oh, this is way too scary. We need to turn it down." And it's like when like too many cooks in the kitchen kind of deal. Like everybody's trying to do their thing, and it just no one's able to get it right. And now that we've rewritten it, it just isn't the same thing anymore. So like it ballooned with its budget. It only earned like I think half its budget. Like its budget was I think it was like something like $40 million in like 1985, which is really high. And then I think it only made like maybe 20 million. So like it flopped. But like it's my first memorable experience with like horror as like a concept in existence, like something that is spooky for the sole sake of it like being spooky and evoking like some unrest or like creepy fear. It is that or the Halloween tree. I don't know if you know this. Have you ever heard of the Halloween tree?
No.
Fair enough. It was an American like is it 1993? Yeah, 1993. Like, I think it was like a TV movie. It used to play all the time on like public access television when I was a kid, like in Canada. So every Halloween, it would come up, and it's basically like a bunch of kids get dressed up, um, and they go like they're going about to do Halloween stuff, and one of their friends, they all trying to get together to do Halloween, and then one of their friends like they go to the house and like an ambulance drives away, and they're like, oh no, like I think his name's like Tommy had to go to the hospital, and it's like, oh no, what happened? So they decide to like start Halloween without him, hope that he gets better, and they go like they cut through like a spooky wood, and then I believe they encounter like like creepy old man Jenkins house, kind of like that. I think he has like a much more like intense name, but it's been years since I've seen this movie. Uh, and he has a whole tree full of jack-o'-lanterns, and so they're like, oh, that's crazy. And they notice like one of the pumpkins kind of looks like their friend Tommy. So they're like, oh, we're gonna steal a pumpkin from creepy old man Jenkins' tree. They do that, and then they basically go like they get teleported.
Oh.
They start chasing what essentially seems to be the ghost of Tommy, which implies Tommy may in fact be dead. But they chase him like through the world and like through time, and it's basically just it's a big old infomercial for like um what what Halloween is in a bunch of parts of the world, like how Egypt treated like its dead. It's from 1993, so a bit of it is like out of date and maybe a bit insensitive. So they talk about like pagans, the Feast of Ghosts in Egypt, the stone. They make some statements about Stonehenge. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Like they kind of just gloss over it, but at the end of it, they get the pumpkin back, and it turns out Tommy's going to be a-okay. It does imply that if they didn't get the pumpkin back, Tommy was dead.
Okay.
So I know it's like it's a fun movie, but it does have just that like terrifying undertone of like, oh, guess this kid's gonna die. It's not necessarily very creepy, but it does like encounter a bunch of it. The only other ones I can think of from when I was a kid that like would be like either tying or earliest horror experiences, um, is not the live action, but the Tales from the Crypt Keeper. You've probably heard of Tales from the Crypt, haven't you?
I don't know. Trying to rack my brain.
Oh,
To be
really?
honest, I am like, as you've been talking about like older animations and things like that, I have been like vaguely remembering like stuff like the Tales of Nim was an old animated movie that was like dark AF for a kids movie.
Yeah.
There was another one and I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a weird combination of like it starts off with like live action with people, and then the kid ends up going into like a weird cartoon world, and he's going around with three books, but they like move, they have arms and legs, and they talk, and he ends up like almost being like caught by Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde scenario. That I always remember that being freaky.
Oh, I think I know exactly what movie it is because it's like it's Macaulay Culkin, right? The guy from the kid from Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's the Page Master.
Oh, that's what it. Yeah, now you've said it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what the name of.
Yeah, it's also crazy. Patrick Stewart's one of the books, eh?
It is crazy.
Patrick Stewart was adventure. Whoopi Goldberg was fantasy, and Frank Welker, the voice of like Fred in that from like Scooby Doo, was horror, which I think is like the Igor looking guy.
Yeah.
And Christopher Walken was I can't remember if he was like the librarian or the antagonist, because like Christopher Walken like played the antagonist in a lot of movies. Oh my god, the Page Master gets like a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
19.
That's 19.
Ow.
Like not like lower than 2019.
Yeah. Wow.
But Amazon.ca and IMDb review scores say it's a 6.2 out of 10 or a 4.7 out of 5. I think 4.7 out of 5 is a bit generous. I think 6 out of 10. You know what? Harken back. That's a 6 out of 10. I think that's a pretty good 6 out of 10.
I gotta check Tales of Nim now.
I'm almost sure Tales of Nim is like, it's like Tales of Nim like NIMH, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Are you thinking the Secrets of Nim?
Or maybe it's called The Secrets of... I don't know. I just typed in the... Yeah, it is The Secret of Nim. 1982. 1982! Okay. Jesus Christ!
I like that all of these are just older than us. It's like, oh, these are great. Predates us.
I was gonna say, but like the animation style was like bonkers. It was like so like dark and creepy.
Oh, Don Bluth did like a bunch of animation. They're all like really good.
The first one, fine. The second one, ugh. I didn't even realize they did a second one, to be honest.
They did a second Secrets of Nim?
According to this, they did. Secret of
Fair
Nim
enough.
2.
Ooh.
Timmy to the rescue, apparently. 1998, and it gets 3.4 out of 10.
Timmy Goes to the Rescue is a really good name.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you know what? That reminds me. There is another one, also Don Bluth, that also I think had like some of the first like bits of horror that freaked me the heck out. Have you ever seen An American Tail?
Yes.
I loved An American Tail as a kid. I even had like a bad Windows 98 computer game for it, which is like one of those point and click adventures.
Oh, yeah.
And it was great. But like I liked An American Tail.
The one I remember...
Like, American Tail is a like...
Sorry, carry on.
For those who don't know, American Tail is about a mouse family that I think is supposed to be like a parody of... I do not know enough of my Russian history at the time.
They're supposed to be traveling to America, though, aren't they? And he gets separated from his family.
Yeah, so they make it to America, and then he does get separated after they fled Russia, and his name is Fievel Mouskowitz. Amazing name. Yeah, so they make it to America, and I think he gets lost like basically right off the boat. It's immediate, and he goes through like an insane adventure. But what the part that like freaked me the most out is, so a bunch of cats are coming to like harass, eat, kill all of the like these homeless mice that have been like holed up in a spot. So they make a mechanical mouse machine. Do you remember the mechanical mouse machine?
See, I remember a scene from one of the movies. I always thought this was a sequel, but this could actually be the original, where they're getting them all to sit on basically a giant mousetrap to take a photo of them all. And then one of the mice that for some reason has a really good singing voice just gets on stage and starts singing out loud, "Can't you see you're on a mousetrap?" or something. And that's the only scene I remember from the entire movie. So, I must be thinking of the second.
That is amazing.
I must be thinking of the second one then,
I think,
because John Cleese is
when Fievel Goes West.
Yeah, John Cleese is in the second one. That's the one I had. I definitely watched the first one, but I remember the second one so much more because I actually owned it on video. Video for those children that don't know what those things are, by the way. A video cassette thing that you put into a TV, or if you were posh enough to have the one that came with the TV, or you had to put it into a video cassette player. Make sure you rewind it before you start watching it, or you start watching the credits immediately, then you have to wait to watch your movie. Okay, I feel better now.
Good time. I did send you a picture of the mechanical mouse.
Yes, I see it.
It's terrifying.
It is, yeah.
Freaky, right?
Yeah.
And I remember because it like makes a bunch of like... So, I don't know what the animation style is. I don't think it was rotoscoped. I actually think it's like really bad early CGI that they did. And it's terrifying in the scene because it is like uncanny, horrifying. It moves weird. And it was freaky. I agree with the cats, and I would have also immediately run away. But yeah, it's between those three, I think, for my like earliest exposure to horror as like a concept. And from there, like I have uh come to like absolutely love horror as a genre and as like a vector for like messaging and stuff like that. Like there's so many good horror movies out these days. And they honestly they've only been getting like better in some regards. Franchises in my opinion kind of teeter downward. So like I'm not a huge fan of the new Halloween trilogy that came out. I don't think it's bad. I think it's a bit much. Halloween having like what? I think there are 10 Halloween movies. That feels like a lot.
No,
But like
yeah.
the new trilogy just yeah.
Yeah,
I have the
you can
bold
over milk a cow, unfortunately.
yes. Which is insane because like my favorite Halloween movie, or at least top in my top three, is definitely Halloween 2, the movie that does not feature like Michael Myers at all. It is like it has nothing to do with Halloween the franchise. It's just a thing that happens on Halloween, and at one scene when the guy's in a bar, Halloween the movie is playing on the TV, and that's like the only connection. And it's good. I like it. It involves like kids putting masks on and getting turned into, I think, like a pile of bugs. It's a very strange movie.
So
The whole
the origin story of Oogie Boogie then.
basically yeah, their insides turn into Oogie Boogie. Like I think that's accurate because the whole plot is the kids are all gonna buy these masks from this company. It's called like the Silver Shamrock Company. It has a terrible catchy tune that they keep playing. 6 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 6 more days till Halloween, Silver Shamrock. It's not a real company. I assume we're not getting trademarked on that one.
Yeah.
Uh, it's the Silver Shamrock Company trademarks it. I assume we're doomed. Uh, but so they're selling these masks, and all the kids want them because they're super cool, realistic. Not realistic, but like they're great, like latex rubber masks. And the plot is wow, we looped to Stonehenge again in this movie somehow. A guy stole a piece of Stonehenge, brought it here, and using its mystical powers from the Sabbath, uh, are going to every kid who wears the mask while watching the like Silver Shamrock TV special that will play on Halloween. Basically, yeah, it gets like liquefied into like bugs because like one they tested on like one kid and all that happens is like Tommy, are you okay? And then like centipedes start crawling out of his face with the mask on. So it's like I assume he turned into bugs. I don't know what the goal is here. If this guy just they hated kids, it's not a super clear one, but also it's just great.
Delightful.
Yeah, it's just not delightful. Turning kids into bugs, I think, is a solid goal to have in today's society. Are there any horror movies that like you remember watching that you really liked, or that you do really like?
I mean, the only other one that comes to mind, animation-wise, before we travel further into the future, is Watership Down.
Oh my god, yeah, that's insane. I remember like hearing about Watership Down, looking it up, and being like, oh, they wanted to like traumatize children.
Yep.
Can you describe the plot of Watership Down to me?
Basically, you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie, but I think our lovely listeners at home might need a recap of the horror of Watership Down.
Okay, for those that know, you guys know what I'm about to say. But for those of you that don't, I mean, it's up to you. You can watch one of probably the most disturbing family movies of all time, which literally had thousands of children crying at the cinemas when it came out, even though it was like, oh yeah, this is a family movie. It's actually about basically a rabbit run, wild rabbits living in a field, and one of them gets this weird premonition that they're all going to die. So he starts running around and trying to convince them that the humans are coming and they're gonna, start building on the land and ripping out all the earth. And they were trying to, nobody believed him. Blah, 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 blah. And then the humans came. And then for some reason the hares came as well and started like murdering all the rabbits too. I think because I don't 100% remember, I think something to do with the hares had lost their land to the humans, so they were going to take their land, but the land they were on was going to be destroyed by humans anyway. So basically all of them die in very horrific, brutal ways, and we build houses on the land. The end.
The scene I remember specifically is the is like when they like get buried alive, like the tunnels start collapsing.
Yeah, that's from the
And
machinery and
horrific
stuff going across the across the ground, and it just can't support the weight.
Yeah, and so a bunch of the tunnels collapse, and it just shows a bunch of rabbits essentially like digging and suffocating, and it's horrific. It's terrifying. And if I was a child, I would have run screaming from that theater. I would admit it. Big secret of my life that I'm going to put on this podcast is I have run screaming from one movie theater in my life.
Oh.
As a child. I don't know if I ever told you this story. Have I?
No. Now I'm interested. Let's get comfy.
It's not long because I ran out of the theater in the first 5 minutes of this movie. I would like you to guess what movie scared me so bad that I ran out of the theater within the first 5 minutes. I will give you a ballpark of like the year it came out.
Yes, I was about to say, could I at least have the year so I can sort of try to think about what came out around that year to get?
It was the year 2000.
For some reason,
a lot.
Yeah, to be honest, a lot. But for some reason, I want to say Scream, but I thought that was the 90s. I feel like that's wrong because
I think it was. I'm looking at like the year 2000 horror movies.
Yeah,
and like just movies in general. Like I'm not saying it was specifically. I ran screaming from The Road to El Dorado.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I was about to say, Jesus Christ.
I absolutely did not. That'd be very funny, though.
That would be so funny.
I was terrified by the Spanish. The Spanish terrified me.
I was terrified by the bull.
I ran out of the theater. Yeah, as a guy who grew up on a cattle farm, that's the most terrifying thing in a movie. An angry bull.
Oh, didn't Final Destination come out in 2000 something?
I would also like to say I was 5, and my family was like pretty strict on making sure I followed like movie regulations when going to see a movie in theaters.
Okay, so it's not something that's like over age related.
By any margin.
Okay. Oh god, that does not help whatsoever.
So think of what movie a 5-year-old would go to see in the year 2000 that could make them run screaming from a theater. But you are right. Final Destination was in fact the year 2000.
Oh.
Also, Scary Movie. They don't make those anymore.
Oh man, I feel like I should know this.
A lot of movies came out that year. It was not The Emperor's New Groove either, just in case people were concerned. I was not afraid of Yzma that much. I'm actually having a really great time looking at what other movies came out in the year 2000.
I'm just looking at like the years these came out and remembering. It's so depressing, man.
I'm trying to look at like all
There's nothing to do with
that...
any of like the Land Before Time movies, is it? Or are they like 1990s?
It was not a Land Before Times movie or sequel.
Okay.
But also those movies are pretty scary, like for a kid.
Yeah, where they're being chased by the Metalfoot and his mom being chased by the T-Rex, and the T-Rex kills his mom. It's just like, oh my god. And then I'm just like, right? I'm just like watching that. I'm trying to think actually. My brain always like remembers that and then thinks, who came first, Bassa or Littlefoot's mum? because because we need to have this discussion.
And just in case people are concerned, no, I was not afraid of the 2000s movie Chicken Run. I was able to handle that quite well.
I don't think I'm going to be able to guess. Not if it's like an age-appropriate movie, because my brain obviously thinks like, oh, scary movies,
right?
And it will just go to movies that are designed to be scary. So like 15s mostly is the age rating for horror. Just tell me and I'll kick myself.
Yeah. More like I'm kicking myself on camera. The How the Grinch Stole Christmas featuring Jim Carrey.
Seriously?
I ran from that movie theater.
I mean, the people.
In the first 5 minutes,
the people in those movies are nightmare fuel. But I did not run out of the theater / cinema when I went to watch that movie.
we went in. You know, that movie starts. It's got like some like creepy music. These teens are like going up the mountain. I don't know why I was so nervous, but then the jump scare happens where like the Grinch sends out like the weird mechanical like wolf face or something and scares the kids down the mountain. I screamed and ran out of the theater.
Oh no.
5-year-old me like booked it.
No, that's understandable. That's understandable at 5.
And like I don't know why. To this day I am not sure why the Grinch Stole Christmas, like that thing like scared me today. I have seen that movie like a million times now. I'm like, yeah, it's like kind of creepy, but like there's no reason. All the other things I described I had watched already, I think are scarier by definition. But that just I 5-year-old me could not handle it. Movie theater filled with people. I screamed and ran out. My greatest shame. I think I've been watching horror movies since then just to specifically like be like, I'm not afraid. I promise I'm not afraid.
I mean, to be honest, the Grinch, like, I can so relate to the Grinch now as an adult. It's so everyone wants me to go, but what would I wear? And no. And obviously the iconic where it's just hideous. Like, they're like, where am I going to fit this into my schedule? 7:30, self-loathing. And I'm like, oh my god, this guy is literally me. 6 o'clock, dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again.
Has aged extremely well.
So good.
It has aged extremely well.
So let me just get this straight. Yes. You watch horror movies to get over your now understandable innate fear as a 5-year-old of running out of the cinema being afraid of the Grinch movie.
Yeah, I specifically watch horror movies to counteract the shame I feel running out of the theater as a 5-year-old.
So
that is like a core memory of me.
So my thing comes from, it's specifically more around games than movies, technically. But when I'm assuming because I can remember it quite well, I must have been at least 7, maybe 8 years old. My dad still had his PlayStation downstairs, and I think one of my cousins had come over with my auntie and uncle, and he was a bit older than me, a teenager. And I think he'd asked to play a game on my dad's console. And my dad said, yeah, sure. And he put on Abe's Odyssey. I did not like Abe's Odyssey. I didn't used to watch my dad play it, and I remember specifically that day when he came around to play it, that he started playing it, and I sat at the bottom of the stairs just listening to the sounds and being terrified that I didn't want to go upstairs to my room and be on my own, but I didn't want to go back into the lounge because I knew what was on the screen, and just I hated the sounds, I hated everything that was happening in that game, and I just, yeah. That's sort of like my core memory of being like, I don't want to be afraid of this stuff anymore.
I need to counteract this. I guess that leads me to my like idea of like, are there any like horror things that you've done recently that you're like, yeah, no, these are good, or you've come around to? Maybe when you didn't like, you've experienced, and now like you do like a lot.
I mean, my sort of transitioning period of like getting more into horror stuff comes from back in 2011, when I was still at college. I got recommended to follow this guy on YouTube who was playing horror games. And back in 2011, he was terrified playing these games. And I was sort of, it's weird because it's weird because it's not like we've actually gone on a journey together, but we sort of have, because when I first started watching this guy, any sound, any movement, what the fuck, oh shit, what was that? And then like to now, because I still watch this person now, something will come around the corner, jump scare him, and he'll laugh.
Yeah, so he's gotten like desensitized.
He's become
basically.
desensitized, and by him doing that has helped me to become more desensitized. Like I can now play things like Outlast. I had to play a level of Outlast for my brother because he was stuck in the basement and he didn't know where he was going. So I was like, give me the controller. I don't have like
going in.
Yeah, I don't have like too much of an issue with certain games. I still think, because like I play games like Dead by Daylight with friends occasionally, and even then like something will happen, like the killer will be undetectable, so you can't hear them, and then you'll turn around and they're just there, and your natural response is to go, oh shit, but like, you know, it's like, oh shit, whereas before like I'd have a like freak out and then I'd be like, can't play anymore, can't do it anymore. Whereas now I'm like, next game, let's go. So I am quite proud of myself for like getting to the point where it's just like I can do that. Horror movies now though annoy me because I'll be watching it and there'll be something happening and you're like, you know, they're in a room and the you know, they've closed the door and it's just like, do they open the door? Do they not? And I'm like, if you open that door, you die. If you open that door, you die. If you open that door, you die. Oh, you open the door. Oh, look, you're dead. So,
oh boy,
yeah,
you're deceased.
I think the reason why I do prefer games to horror movies for that reason, that because you have more control. Yes, even if you have to go into that situation, it's like I'm in control of the situation to a point. So I know.
Yeah, you have like that agency.
Yeah, it's like I know if I open that door, I'm in trouble. What can I do to help myself in this situation? Do I have a weapon? Can I pick up a weapon? Is there going to be like a QTE thing I can be prepared for? Whereas in a horror movie, you're basically on like a rail cart and you're just being dragged along by the movie. And it's just like, well, all these people are going to die because they're all stupid.
Yeah, it's like that old meme of like a guy in the movie theater like, don't go in there, fool, you're going to die.
Basically.
Just yelling in the theater.
So.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But I am proud of how far I've come.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm proud of how far I've come, where a middle-of-the-road Christmas movie no longer terrifies me, and I no longer run out of movie theaters. I, in fact, go to the movies frequently on my own, because my girlfriend is not a huge fan of them. I'm allowed to take her to one a year. We'll watch some at home, but like if I want to go see one in the movie theater, she's like, you get one movie theater horror movie from me a year. Because the problem is like she can't leave, she can't turn her phone on, she can't look away.
Oh, bless.
Is the problem. So it's like it's like you have to engage with it. And it's like, oh no. And I think I've picked some good ones. I think we went and saw Scream like 2 years ago. And it was great because the theater was just completely empty, so we just talked through the whole movie.
Nice.
Oh yeah, going to a movie theater and no one being in it is like the greatest experience.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just like, I got this place all to myself. Nice.
Yeah, you get it all to yourself. You get to like, you can talk. You could talk. What was it? I remember like the guy came to like sign off the sheet that like the theater's still like everything's going fine, yada yada. And we're just like, how you doing, buddy? And he's like, oh, fine. I'm like, there's no one else here. Don't worry about it. Like, we're just here watching a movie. Don't think I haven't taken her to one yet, but I do want to see 28 Years Later. I know that comes out. That is out right now.
Me and my dad want to watch
And
28 Days Later because it's been. I've never seen the whole thing. And my dad's seen it, but he saw it so long ago that he can't really remember the plot. So we want to at least watch 28 Days. We're not too sure if we want to watch 28 Weeks because it did so bad. But we definitely want to watch 28 Days. We have that to watch.
I own 28 Weeks Later as a DVD. I saw 28 Days Later as, like, I don't know, like, when did 28 Days Later come out? Like 2008 maybe? But I saw it 2002. Oh my god. Wait, did I see it? Like, I did not see it in 2002. It must have been a little later. But like, my best friend at the time, like, had a copy of it. We ended up watching it at his place. It was good. I liked that a lot. It's why I'm, like, super excited for 28 Years Later. I think we're actually Jordan wants to see it, like, tonight.
Ooh.
So that's why I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm queuing up some spooky stuff on the podcast and then watching some spooky stuff at home.
Nice. You'll have to give me a spoiler-free review because me and my dad will eventually watch it.
Hell yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'll say something like cryptic, like, "Oh, the Bone Man is great. I love Bone Man." And go, who's the Bone Man? Like, you'll find out who Bone Man is, and then you'll watch the movie like, "Who the fuck was Bone Man?" Like, "Oh, he had like a skull on his head or something." It's like, "Oh, yeah, Bone Man wasn't descriptive enough." I love giving vague reviews of things because, like, at least before COVID, I used to, like, go to the movies like maybe once a week. Like, if there was a stretch of time where, like, I was going to the movies multiple times a month and just seeing movies, and, like, people were like, "Oh, was it good?" I'm like, "Okay, out of everything in theaters right now, like, these two are good, this one's kind of mid." I was like, there were just a good slew of movies. Like, I saw X in theaters, I think, a while ago. X was, like, a horror movie about, like, people making pornos.
Yeah, it had
In, like,
the I can't remember the name of the character, but the actress got really praised for her role in that because they did another one.
There are two.
Hmm.
You got two sequels. Like, I'm not usually a huge fan of, like, trilogies, but this was, like, actually a pretty good sum up. So there was X, and then I think it was called Pauline. No, it wasn't Pauline. Oh, Pearl. It was called Pearl, and it's literally a, like, prequel to X. And then there was Maxine with, like, two X's, and it's like, and Maxine is a direct sequel to X.
Okay.
I don't know, and it was great. I liked all of it. It also had the weirdest thing is, like, movies haven't had, like, the little paraphernalia you could get at the front desk as often anymore. Maxine, literally, you could, when I went to the movies, like, there was a little stack of what was essentially her headshot and like her, like, acting resume on the back, and it was really cool because it's the same one you see in the movie, and all of the like, movies and, like, skills section, all of them are just euphemisms for, like, pornos, for porn stuff.
Oh
She's
god.
like, can speak. It's like, very flexible, open to, like, nudity shots, proficient in, like, water sports, and I'm like, oh, I get it. Haha, very funny. I'm like, I understand what's going on here, and, like, every single one of, like, the skill set was just like, yep, all porn jokes, and it was good, but the movie was great. Then, like, there was a good stretch of time where, like, there was just a good slew of horror movies in theaters. Barbarian was good. It's actually on Disney Plus, surprisingly.
Is that the one with Bill
Uh,
Skarsgård in it?
Let me just
Or am I
check.
thinking of a different one?
No, I think you're right. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I had to look up Bill Skarsgård because uh, Bill Skarsgård is also just. I think there's like a genre of movie that is just. Can we make Bill Skarsgård look horrifying?
And he goes, "Yeah, put me in whatever you want. I will play it."
Yeah.
I still want to
insane.
watch Nosferatu, even though it sounds like it's going to be a weird trip.
It's a weird trip, but like it's good. I like it. Some people don't like it. If you there were like two vampire movies that came out like not around the same time, but like within like a year of each other. It's like Nosferatu and Sinners. I think Sinners is a better movie, but I really like Nosferatu as well. Like Nosferatu is really good. Like anytime the titular like Nosferatu Count Orlik is on screen, like they switch to I think grayscale or black and white, so like all the color kind of like is gone whenever he's in the room. Uh, it doesn't help though that like a lot of the color palette of the movie is also pretty muted. So when you notice it, you're like, oh, that's cool, but it's hard to notice because everything's kind of muted in color.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great. I think it's a great movie. Uh, yeah, because there was Barbarian, and then he's in Nosferatu. He was in he's Pennywise from It. I almost completely forgot that one.
He is, yep.
Once again, Bill Skarsgård. Just how weird and creepy can he be? Apparently, very. He has a wide range. Apparently, in the interview, it even said that like, oh, we weren't sure like Bill could do like because he got hired like off his like credit with like Pennywise and how like good he was, and like, oh, we're not sure like he could do like a really deep like Nosferatu voice. Apparently, he like got really guttural and like did the voice and like, oh shit, yeah, he's good.
Well, just
I'm like, yeah,
yes,
because he's an actor, damn it.
yeah. Keeping with that briefly for a second, just to go off topic before we come back. That's just reminded me of like there was one time where Robert Pattinson did that for The Boy and the Heron in Studio Ghibli.
Oh yeah.
Where they were just like, oh yeah, we need to come up with like this voice for the heron, blah, 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 blah. And he was just like, oh, what about something like this? And he apparently just recorded that on his phone and sent it to them. They were like, that is exactly what we want. Because I like sit and watch. I sit and watch that movie, and I'm just like, at points you can tell it's Robert Pattinson, but most of the time you can't. It's like it's really well done, considering everyone just thought he was just like a one-dimensional actor after shit like Twilight.
Twilight is a cultural touchstone and is an amazing bunch of young adult films.
It's a terrible series. I will stand proud on this hill.
In high school, like I had an ex who was super into Twilight, like hugely, and I think like the moment I'm like, oh, like these movies are, or like this series is terrible, is like finding out like the ending scene where like Jacob imprints on a baby.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's the love of my life. I'm like, that's a baby, and then apparently like vampire babies just mature at a rate of like 2,000,000%. So they're like a teenager, like by like the next like one of the next scenes or something. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just kind of creepy now.
That was still a baby.
Yep. It has the vibe of like when an anime like has a young character and it's like, don't worry, they're a 2,000,000-year-old dragon. It's fine.
Yeah, but you can just go. Like, well, it was made. It's made in Japan, so they get a pass.
I don't know. I think we have to hold everyone to the standards. If you can't imprint on a baby, you can't imprint on a 2,000-year-old dragon. I think we have to have the equivalency here. Oh. If the baby was 2,000,000 years old, does that make it good? No, it's still a baby. That's my hot take of the day.
Yeah, like it is like really stupid to think about stuff like that. Like movies like Twilight were like so well. One that it was a remake, but I still enjoyed it. Was Fright Night.
Oh my god! Like, okay, which
Where
Fright Night? There's two, right?
yeah, Colin Farrell's Fright Night, so the remake one. I actually really enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah, like the 2011 one.
Yeah, because like that's the type of that's a vampire, right?
Oh yeah,
They could do
that's a
like the
vampire.
suave, charming, cool stuff, and then be like absolutely like viscerally brutal.
It has my favorite line, and I am paraphrasing the line a little bit, but it's like, don't worry, he can't get in here without an invitation. And then he like rips up the gas line and like blows a hole in the house and just stands outside going, I don't need an invitation if there isn't a house.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm like,
so
oh my
good.
god.
It's
I'm like,
so
I'm like,
good.
I'm like, oh, you know what? He's right. If there's no house, he can just walk through. Which leads me to my biggest question, and I'm posing this to everyone and the viewers. If a vampire was your landlord and he gave you 24 hours notice that he needed to enter the apartment, does he need your permission, or does the law let him just enter your apartment?
I would assume because he owns the property, he's walked in the property before you've entered it. Therefore, he can go in whenever the fuck.
So my argument to that is Count Dracula is Count and owns the town that Mina Harlot is in, but he can't enter Mina Harlot's room unless she opens the window for him.
Yeah, but
So I think owning the property.
I don't, because I don't know then at that point, because like if you're saying he owns the town, like does that mean he owns the land? Because if the people, the humans build the house, then it's their house. If he just owns the land that they live on, then technically it's still their house. They just rent the land off Dracula for it. So Dracula owns the land the house is on, but if they built the fucking house, it's their house.
That's what I mean. Like, I think he owns the land
Mm.
because I think he owned the land of. Trying to remember, or I think I might be thinking of Count Orlick specifically because he feeds on a bunch of people, but I think he literally does like still need someone to open the door to the home. I think it's like literally the like a house is not a home kind of deal. Like he unless once it's someone's home, he needs an invitation in, even when he owns like he's Count or like Duke or whatever, like owns the like surrounding land, collects taxes, all that jazz. But like he still can't go in there
I
without it.
would
So that's why I'm
absolutely.
like, okay.
My brain's just thought I would absolutely love a comedy horror where like it's like a vampire and stuff, and you don't know they're a vampire straight away. You invite them into your house, blah, 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 and then they're like something happens and they're like running to your house, and because you've technically invited them in, they're allowed in. You realize they're a vampire. You're standing at the front door and you go, "I revoke access to you entering my property," and then they just hit an invisible barrier and just slingshot off into the distance.
I like to imagine like what would happen if
It'd be
someone pushed
so
a
funny.
vampire unwillingly. Yeah, what if someone pushed a vampire unwillingly into the doorway of a home they are not welcome in?
I would either
Like,
say they
is
like
there an
just
invisible barrier?
yeah, either they hit an invisible barrier, which is funny, or they just like burst into flames, which would be even funnier.
I'm wondering if it just causes them like. So there's a bunch of old myths to vampires that I think are really funny. One of them is basically that they just have OCD. Apparently, if you throw like a bag of rice, they must count every grain of rice, kind of deal.
What?
I'm like, yeah. Apparently, like it bothers them.
Note to
I'm
self:
just gonna
have
say
a
type
bag of rice on standby near the front door.
Yeah, vampires counting rice. In some particularly like Chinese and European traditions, vampires are depicted as having compulsion to count scattered seeds of grain or rice. So I like to imagine that like vampires actually are just autistic. If you push them into a house they're not welcome in, it's just like social anxiety is just cursing them. They're like, no, no, can't be in here, don't like it. It's like they're just like they're compelled by the social norm. They're like, I don't like it. Oh, I can't stand this. Like you've just made them extremely uncomfortable. Like nothing bad will happen to them, but they themselves can't handle it.
Oh dear.
It's a very I don't know. I think it's a great idea. But yeah, I've posed this question to like a few people. Like if a vampire is a landlord and they say, I'm giving you 24 hours notice that I will be entering your apartment. Can they enter your apartment even if you never say, yes, you can enter my apartment? But I'll also pose it a little broader. Whatever the rules of the country you live in for landlords entering apartments, if they follow those rules, can a vampire come in with or without consent?
All kettle of fish you're opening
Please
there.
feel free to answer below. I know. This is where my mind goes when I think of things. My mind goes like, oh, that's not good. My landlord gave me 24 hours notice that they're going to enter my apartment to fix something. If they're a vampire, I'm screwed. They have permission. But yeah, no, like I love thinking about stuff like that. I like that we went from like Bill Skarsgård, Nosferatu, just to my theoretical if a vampire does this, is it okay?
And we always go off topic.
Hey, this was tangentially on topic. It was horror related.
Well, it was,
And
yeah.
depending on your answer, this could save somebody's life from a vampire. I'm just saying. Well, I'm trying to think of like any other horror stuff. Like I said, it's too hot to think these days.
We could always come back to this topic at another time. It's one of the we could start a part 1 of topic.
Summerween will be back in Falloween, which is just Halloween.
Yeah, we will come back in September for we'll just do it quarterly throughout the year. Springerween, Summerween, Autumnween, Winterween.
I'm very excited for like we just planned. It's like welcome to Easterween.
Here we discuss how the Easter rabbit it can be used in horrific consequences.
You know absolutely that somebody has made like an indie, like one of those bad budget horror movies of like the Easter Bunny.
You mean
right?
like the horrible
that,
Winnie the Pooh one? Yeah.
Exactly, Winnie the Pooh, or I guess they made a Steamboat Willie, like Mickey Mouse horror movie.
Yeah,
right?
I heard about that. Yeah.
I see. The problem is I didn't hear anything about it. Like it was talked about, and then like, oh, is it not out? Oh, maybe it's not out. Maybe that is why.
Maybe it's still in production.
It's a 2025 horror movie. No, it came out in April.
Oh.
Apparently. It was called Screamboat.
Oh God.
I don't know. I think Screamboat's a pretty great name. Do you think they could get Bill Skarsgård to play Mickey Mouse?
No.
Or, I guess Screamboat Willie?
No, I think they got the guy who plays that killer clown in the What's It movies to play him, actually.
Oh, really? The guy from Terrifier?
The same actor, I think, played that guy.
Oh, okay. I'm not a huge fan of, like, real guts and gore horror stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't think it does anything for me, and I don't think it scares me. I just go like, okay. But I will say the Terrifier movies. If you want to see a guy who I think may in fact just be an insanely good mime in a horror movie, Terrifier. I watched like Terrifier 1 and 2 and like everything's happening and I'm like, the clown is actually the best part of this movie. Like he like at one point he gets like shot and he just goes and like makes the most perfect like, "Aw, man, you shot me." Like face, he doesn't say anything. It's all hand motions and like expressions, and he's killing it. I'm like,
God.
oh my God, I love him. Yeah, like I'm not a big fan of like watching this lady get like sawed sawed vertically in half, but the clown's faces are perfect. It's amazing. This is my recommendation that everyone watch Terrifier 1. and maybe nothing else. Because, like, again, not insanely great movies, but man, that clown is good. Ooh, that leads me to the. Do you have any horror media recommendations?
really think of any movies specifically because
Any media, honestly, because I definitely have movies, but if you have more games than that, go for it, or books.
I suppose it depends on like the type of horror that you want, because there's so many different types of horror now. Like obviously mascot horror has become a thing thanks to Five Nights at Freddy's. But I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, the original ones that were made by Scott are just very good. Just naturally good, because without them you wouldn't have got everything else that followed. And then, like I say, but that goes to like Amnesia as well and stuff. You know, if it wasn't for Amnesia, you wouldn't have so many indie horror games that exist. Although personally, I would say the best game those guys ever made is still Soma. I would still say Soma. Not to say that the new one they made, The Bunker, isn't cool. The Bunker is cool, but the whole story that goes with Soma is just really good. But like I say, there's so many different things that helped to make what we have now. You know, BioShock existing, all of these things. You know, if it wasn't for BioShock, we wouldn't have had like story horror games specifically. You know, that the creepy atmospheric stuff, and like, you know, the exploration and getting basically all the other stuff that we've got now, you know, Alien Isolation, Outlast. There's just so many different things that like literally it is down to what type of thing you want. Do you want a narrative story driven horror experience? You've got those games.
Fair.
Do you want like adrenaline filled like excitement horror? There's those games as well. Do you want the ones where you're, you know, stuck in like a specific spot you can't move from, and you have to utilize what is around you to keep yourself safe within a time limit? There's those ones too. There's something out there for everyone.
I will say, speaking of Soma, you have, by the time this podcast goes out, the sale is off. The Steam Summer Sale has it on for $7.80. So, congratulations, everyone on the podcast. You missed the sale. Sorry.
Or if you did get to the sale, even if you didn't buy the game, but you picked up some bargains, good for you, because it's always a good time to get some reasonably priced games.
Exactly. My horror recommendation is, I've got 2 movies to recommend. The Lighthouse, starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. Great movie, great vibes. I believe it's by Robert Egger.
Yep. Same person who did Nosferatu, and the same person who also did the movie The Northman, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. And he did The Witch.
Yes.
I think was his...
The Witch was...
He's got a new one.
The Witch was the first one.
He's got a new movie coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf.
Ooh, is he going to try his hand at a werewolf one?
I think so, and it's WERWULF. Like werewolf. Not O. Yeah. I'm excited. I really like a lot of Robert Eggers movies, so I'm jazzed.
Well, they're all like really unique, aren't they? So you always get like a different vibe from, which is cool. It's nice that he tries different things and doesn't just stick to the same form.
He's also really dedicated to doing like really good like set design.
Yeah.
So you get like really cool stuff like that. And my second recommendation is a really small Canadian horror movie that I think I liked a lot. Skinamarink. I believe I mentioned it like once or twice.
You have mentioned it once or twice on the podcast. You're just shamefully plugging it again. I know you are.
Shamefully? I don't think I have any shame here. Ha! Take that. I'm not ashamed of nothing. I've already said my deepest, darkest secrets on this podcast. You all know my fear of the Grinch. Ha, take that. I have nothing to lose. But yeah, no. Give it a try. It's on Shudder if you have the horror streaming service. Otherwise, I'm almost certain it's like extremely cheap. I think though, I'm trying to remember the director. He has a YouTube channel. And because oh yes. Edward Ball. He has a YouTube channel that there's actually like not a like prequel to Skinamarink, but like but he has his own like YouTube channel, and he put up a video that basically is just Skinamarink. Oh, it's called Bite-Sized Nightmares. I don't think he's put anything out like in a while, like in the last 2 years. But he put like they're all little horror snippets, and they're good. But there's one called I think it's called Heck. It's like 30 minutes in total, but it's like it's essentially Skinamarink.
Speaking of short experiences though, there are so many really good short horror movies online. Like if you're not like really set on being able to sit and watch a whole movie, totally search up short horror movies on like just online or on YouTube. You will get some honestly fantastic short horror movies. I've seen a few of them and they're so good. Like they're so unique.
Yeah, didn't you you mentioned the Mandela catalog I think to me once or twice.
That is like yeah, like a weird sort of like conspiracy theory one, but it's like it's almost like induction tapes of you becoming a member of this like classified like government agency where you have to detect like anomalies that are like cloning themselves to look like human, but they don't quite look human. And like it's weird because like it starts off like in the first one just being like an introductory like welcome to your induction of how you know into the job of blah, blah, blah. And then as you go through because there's like this like reoccurring story rolls through of like these people that have actually interacted with them, and then they're like recordings that they've left behind of what happens to them, and there's like audio files. Some of them have got like video files and stuff, and it gets like really into it, and it is really creepy to think like that there could be like something disguising itself as a human, and then it just looks off, like its head's its neck's too long, its head's like too much one side, one eye's like lower than the other, like stuff like that. Like if you're into like weird shit like that.
Yeah, fair enough. No, it sounds I love weird shit is like I think the best part of like horror of when it's like, oh, it's just like the bridge of like unsettling to straight horror. I love that line. That's my favorite line.
But yeah, like just quickly searching online, there's just so many like really creepy like short horrors.
Oh yeah, no, short horror is alive and well. There is a ton. I think on that note, I think that's all I have to talk about spooky stuff, which I think brings the first Summerween to a close.
I'm sure we'll be back for.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very excited for Easterween. Well, as always, thank you all for listening and checking out the first possibly annual, possibly biannual, possibly octannual, depending on how many times we do this, Summerween. And as always, thank you for checking out the Campus podcast. Feel free to, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, please give us a follow. Everything helps. And thank you so much. And please leave in the comments what your favorite horror media is, if you have any, or any that you're interested in trying. Or feel free to agree with me that The Grinch is the most horrifying movie a 5-year-old could ever see. Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Well, thanks again, everyone. And catch you later. Bye.
Thanks for coming, guys. Bye.